Meanwhile, in other frauds, data centers, hooray! So there'd be 3 huge proposed UK data centers. All of them managed to understate their carbon impact by 500% because they compared 1 year of their emissions against a 5-year national budget. And they were all granted planning permission. They all got planning permission. They got through the sift. These 3 data centers will generate annual emissions roughly the same as the entire city of Bristol. Yet each one was described as having a minor adverse impact on UK emissions. This is insane. The problem is that from a planning policy perspective, that's actually a permissible stance. It's the one taken by almost every development currently in the system, all the data centers kind of doing this, because if it wasn't, we'd have to start admitting that the things we want to do don't always align with net zero. And there are no meaningful significance criteria for carbon emissions in environmental impact assessment. I won't name her, but this, very much pointed out by a friend, a good engineer within Atkins Realis, kind of making this point, sticking her head above the parapet on LinkedIn and making the point, this is insane, what are we doing? And kind of pointing the finger at the consultancy class, who are the ones who firstly made this mistake and secondly wave this junk through. Consultants getting involved in data centers shouldn't be. It's as simple as that. Do not do that. Is completely against what you claim to be doing. So this is good. So data centers. Well, I'm sure that the data center lobby isn't just doing fraud to get its stuff through. No, they don't need to, because another friend of the show, Paris Marx here, they're pointing out, in Paris's words, in fact, honestly, I welcome the data center lobby just openly saying climate goals needed to be trashed so the tech industry can build AI. Intense heat waves, record forest fires, worsening natural disasters, be damned. Yeah, in the middle of the heat wave last week, this came out. Europe must choose between AI and climate goals, data center lobby says.
Well, that's the easiest choice ever. I'm so, what? Well, why is this even a debate we're having? Are we kidding?
I know, it's absolutely...
Look out the window!
I know, it's ridiculous. This is, if this doesn't happen, if we don't prioritize AI over our climate ambitions, we risk surrendering our tech sovereignty to China. Tech sovereignty is not a thing. Europe has no tech sovereignty. It's either China or the US. We have no tech sovereignty whatsoever. That's the view of the president of the European Data Center Association, which lobbies the EU on behalf of data center companies. Yeah, funny that. Lex Kors said that Europe's energy system is not ready to power advanced AI data centers, and Europe may need to fall back on new carbon-emitting gas power plants to meet its tech sovereignty goals. Christ. The grid is not ready. Small modular nuclear reactors won't be on time. So now what, he said. The European Commission wants to triple the bloc's data center capacity by 2032 as part of its AI continent action plan. But Kors said the rollout of renewables, grid expansion plans, and next generation nuclear are not moving fast enough to support that growth. This leaves Europe facing the sensitive question of whether it should temporarily rely on gas-fired power to support AI growth while waiting for grids, nuclear reactors, and blah, blah, blah to catch up.
Or just, I don't know, don't.
Just don't.
It's a pretty simple... Oh, my goodness.
Don't is an option. My suggestion is, let's at least open the conversation, said Kors, whose organization represents big tech groups like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, along with local data center companies. Go away. Go away. Of course, it's not like we're approaching, it's not like we're kind of, approaching a sort of a cliff edge for all this stuff at all, is it? AI exuberance, this is the Financial Times, risks ending in lengthy investment bust, BIS warns. Weak returns could trigger sharp pullback from funding for tech companies that threatens the global economy. That's interesting. What's this about then? So, Alliance's investment chief warned this week that SpaceX's decision to launch a $25 billion bond sale so soon after its IPO was a sign that markets had entered bubble territory. Now, let's have a look at some graphs from the FT, shall we? So, here's the financing for AI companies. You see it surging and surging and surging. Whee! Look at it go. Up, 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 up. Debt, therefore, has gone whee! Up, 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 up. And, let's just have a look at some historical precedents, shall we? So, let's start with the dot-com boom there. So you can see rise in investment, a substantial rise in investment followed by a drop. Let's maybe go to railway mania, shall we? Oh, look, spectacular rise in investments followed by a tremendous drop-off and leveling. Multiples of the pre-boom trough, by the way, this graph. What about probably one of the more catastrophic ones, which is canal mania? Oh, there you go. See, climbing, reaching a peak of 4 times its pre-boom trough in terms of investment multiples, and then catastrophically dropping through the floor. Hooray for canal mania. Where's AI? Up, 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 whee! Going up,
Surely it'll be different this time. Surely this is the time we found the infinite growth machine. This is not, ignore all the historical precedent. This is the time that we found the infinite growth machine.
Exactly. So the next thing is, the good thing is nothing is escalating such that a trigger might result in a bubble burst, of course. This is the FT again. We created a monster. Companies rein in AI usage as costs strain budgets. Amazon, Walmart, and Uber are among early adopters that have introduced caps or discouraged wasteful activity. Let's just have a quick read of this, shall we? Companies that race to put AI tools in the hands of their workers are starting to rein in their use as the cost of deploying the technology at scale begins to test corporate budgets. Amazon, Walmart, Cisco, Uber, and Meta are among early adopters that have introduced caps, discouraged wasteful use, or pushed employees to cheaper models in a bid to keep AI spending under control. The shift marks a new phase in corporate AI adoption as workers move beyond chatbots to AI agents, which can perform complex tasks autonomously. No, they can't, but require far more computing power. They certainly do. Companies are being forced to scrutinize whether each query and task is worth the cost. This is intensified as groups including Anthropic and OpenAI have moved some services from flat subscriptions to token-based billing. Who said this would happen? Which tracks the units of data processed by models. The change has exposed companies more directly to the cost of every prompt and automated workflow. We all ask ourselves, and specifically Ed Zitron, is this good? Is that good, folks? I'm going to go with... Who knows? We couldn't possibly say. Meanwhile, on the subject of the bubble, the US is already spending more on data centers than on public transport. 50 billion quid a year now being spent on data centers, which is more than is being spent on public transport. So that's good. That's really healthy, good, and fine. We probably shouldn't worry about that.